What do you have to say to that, Torie Mathis?
I have the award for that.
Woo woo. Tell me more. Hey, welcome to Smart AF. I'm your host, Torie Mathis. We have got a great show for you today, so let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Torie Mathis, and I'm here with the one and only Torie Mathis, founder of Miles Through Time Automotive Museum here in Georgia.
That's me.
Some may say Georgia's best automotive museum. What do you have to say to that, Torie Mathis?
I have the award for that.
Woo woo. Tell me more.
That's about it. Best automotive museum in Georgia.
That's pretty cool.
Was that 2 years ago?
I think so. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. Yeah, we've done a lot of events for the museum, and these events that we've done, have really been a great way to get out into the community and get more people to talk about and to know the museum. And it's kind of cool doing stuff like that because it's, when I went to advertising school, and it's what they called under the radar advertising, which is just like selling to people or advertising to people without them actually like realizing that you're actually kind of showing them an ad.
Yeah, like admission wise for the museum, I don't really know exactly how much I'd have to spend. I don't even know if I could spend a certain amount to get the amount of people into the museum that I do when they come in just because we have an event outside. I think that last one, it rained, it was cold, didn't really advertise a whole lot. COVID. We still had 450 people come in throughout the course of the day.
Yeah. And that's not, and still more people didn't come into the museum. They just came to the event that was outside. But even if they didn't come in that time, they still know about it. And then everybody that posted pictures knew about it. Their friends knew about it on social and things like that. Like it's a really cool compounding way that really all those people ended up being kind of like walking billboards because you gave away shirts, right? We've talked about this before. Not only are you providing a free event for these people and then inviting them into the museum, but also making them billboards. People love the shirts. People get upset when the shirts run out. Yeah,
which happens in about 40 minutes.
It was really quick last time. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's almost 200 shirts just gone, just like that.
One of the best times of this under the radar marketing that I can think of, though, is several years back, I set a goal that I wanted to buy a professional piece of art. Remember that? That was like one of the things.
I don't think you said one.
Well, no, I had no idea like how to even go about that. Yeah. So I was like, I want to buy
You wanted an art gallery in the house along with a gigantic library.
Well, I mean, I've always wanted both of those things, but I didn't really know, like, I didn't have a plan for buying a piece of art. I just knew I wanted to buy like a legit piece of art. And then we started going on cruises. And apparently they sell some art on cruises.
It's a trap.
It might be a trap. But it is a great way of, we were super sold to without realizing. I mean, you realize it, but without feeling like you were being sold to. Like, I never felt like I was pressured or anything like that. And I happily bought our first couple pieces of art. We went to, the kids are in kids club. They're having a great time. We're in between stops on the ship. And so, we don't gamble, we don't drink. So all, what is there to do?
Pools are way too damn crowded.
Those are little tiny pools for so many people. Like no, I don't need that many people in the pool next to me. So we ended up finding an art class about Peter Max. I didn't even know who Peter Max is. But when we went, I recognized a couple of things. I'm like, oh, okay, that guy.
Now, to be fair, we saw some of these pieces of art in the hallway as we walked by, and I distinctly remember going, it's not my style. I cannot believe how expensive those things are.
The Peter Max ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just didn't really do it for me at all.
No, it really wasn't my style either. If you're not familiar with Peter Max, it's very pop art. It's bright colors with black ink, kind of geometric things. Some of it, though, even after the Peter Max class, like, I would never buy it. However, there are these Liberty Head ones that I really liked after we learned about Peter Max. It was like an hour long, like a little class about him and his history and why he created these people. It was all free. I think they even had like champagne or something for people. And, so they made kind of like a little event out of it. And you really learned a lot. And after that, Sean and I wanted a Peter Max.
It is actually psychologically really crazy to think about how much it altered my opinion on Peter Max in general. Like the Statue of Liberty ones, all the patriotic ones are pretty cool. If you're into that style, now that I'm into Peter Max, I really have a preference on those ones. But even like the Umbrella Man is one of the most famous ones he's known for. Without knowing who he was or is still, it wouldn't really do it for me. But now I'm like, well, damn, he's known for the Umbrella Man, we should probably have one.
Well, but there's a whole story about the Liberty Head. Do you remember exactly how?
He is responsible for the Statue of Liberty even being here today. He is the one that raised all the funds, or got the funds to save it, because it was actually falling apart and they were going to have to take it down.
So he arranged everything, I guess, and they were able to restore the Statue of Liberty because it was falling apart. So I don't know. Google Peter Max, and maybe I'll like find a picture of one of ours and put it up here. At the time though, when we did the Peter Max class, like, we did not get a Peter Max. You guys, Peter Maxes are not cheap. Like, we did not get a Peter Max. We picked up a couple other little small pieces that were our first ones that we're like, woo, we're art collectors now. And that was pretty cool. And it turns out, like, if you buy on these ships, they will actually invite you, if you spend enough, I guess, to private events. And we got invited to one locally here that was at, I tried to remember what.
Ritz-Carlton.
At the Ritz-Carlton here on this beautiful lake. And we got the whole entire weekend paid for. And it was literally just, there were art auctions that were going on, but then they also invited the artists in, and they interviewed them, and they got to talk with them and talked about their history and why they did pieces of art, and just really, really, really cool. I can't remember his name. Who is the guy that was there the first night that does the patriotic stuff? Because he had the Native American dancers come out, and because that's like a big part of his stuff. He's also very patriotic and does these beautiful flags that we haven't got yet. Do you remember his name? We have the flag upstairs.
Yeah.
I'll think of it. So, really, like, they had like these whole demonstrations and everything. And so we were able, at that time, they got us, and we bought our first Peter Max there. But again, that whole event was a big ass commercial. Like, they could have spent all that money and used it like in a commercial, or sent us all magazines, or, all these different ways that seem so conventional, but really, like, what a smart way to put on an event of people that have already bought pieces, bring in these artists that you want to sell them to, so then they have this personal connection to them, tell their stories, they have more of a personal connection to them.
Yeah, when they had the guest artists that actually showed up, and you got to talk to all of them, and then of course they've got all their special deals on all their art, but it made people really want to buy a piece of that guy's art because they just met him, and then they get the photos with him, and yeah, I mean, they sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of art in 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. But what's crazy is, like, the people that were buying, like, big time buying and bidding on these things, they were the ones that were, like, not the ones you thought. Like, I was really surprised. Like, it was really a neat experience to go in and see how that works.
Yeah, there's no judging the room on, like, they got a lot of money, and then they're not going to buy anything, and nope. You had no idea when their hand was going to go up. It was crazy.
Yeah. Older people, people younger than us were in there, people dressed nice, people not dressed nice, a couple people brought their kids. Like, it was like such a neat crowd of people that if you think of like trying to target those type of people, because it was such a crazy cross section of everybody, like you couldn't have advertised to them like just inviting people who have already bought from you and having an event like that. Like it was a super smart, super like great piece of advertising.
It made you want to do it again, although you had to spend enough money to get invited again, and we did not. But I mean, it was definitely a cool experience. Something I want to do on the car side of things.
Well, plus they are like, oh, you like this at the Ritz-Carlton? We do these like super adventures, like. We go,
some of the other options. I'm like, well, why the hell didn't we get invited to that?
Oh, you have to spend like $100,000 or something.
It wasn't that much. No, it was like
50,000. Oh no, I think it was more than that. No,
it was like 10. Because to get to the Ritz-Carlton, it was only like 5.
Yeah, I think it was more for the big one. Did I not? I'm gonna look into that. It's only 10. Well, shit.
I mean, yeah, because it's just a cruise. I mean, you think of how much money we spend on a cruise. Like, if it was just the two of us. You can go on to a cruise for
but they were going to special places and having special tours, and
that's just part of the thing on any cruise ship, though, where you go and you.
Yeah, but you weren't just on a big cruise ship with them. That was a special, like, small trip.
It might have been a different one. I just remember the cruise one.
Oh,
and then you still get to go and you do different things because they paid for it all.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do any of it, but then you did. You were obligated to. Technically buy more art.
So, the beginning one was just this little hour Peter Max class, and then the next one ended up being, this event at the Ritz-Carlton for the weekend. And then the next one, and it just keeps expanding, that they keep, getting you down the pipeline if you're the right person, but without ever advertising to you in, a conventional sense. Super cool.
I think of, some of our earlier houses, and we had a ton of wall space, there's no windows. Now it's everything's windows and doors, and I don't know if we have much wall space left of places that we actually go and would be able to enjoy the art.
Yeah. And the pieces that we have got, the Peter Max, we had the Peter Max class that we did, the little seminar, and then there's an artist, Matt
Buyer.
That does stuff on wood, and he was there, and we got a piece from him. And then Lebo, he was there, we got a couple from him. So it was crazy. If we would have just walked into the ship the very first time and, like Sean said, just looked at these things, we've been well, they're cool. But then once you get to know them and you've met them and you get further down that and have that connection with the artist, it really made you want to.
I think that Matt Buyer one was the only one that I would have already been drawn to without meeting him, just because it's so unique.
Actually, Matt Buyer, we did buy 2 Matt Buyers the first time. They were, we did. They weren't actually on wood, so they were just.
They're on wood. They're heavy as shit.
Are they the ones that? Yeah. Oh, see, I thought we just had prints of those ones. They're reproduction ones, so they're not a original one. The one that we bought from the event there, that was an actual original, painted by his hand one. So we kind of went up with those ones. So I was thinking that they were just. They are. I don't even know what you call that. Not a replica, but it's still.
Normally they'd be a giclée, but I don't know what they call it.
When it's actually on wood, yeah. So, but it's not painted by his hand. It's a fancy printed and signed by him, right? Something like that.
Which they gave a class on all that stuff too, so you know how much that sunk in.
It's been a while. I don't know. I like the pieces, and it's kind of neat that we were able to expand on something that we wanted to do.
But now when we go on another cruise, you immediately go to the Park West art gallery that's in there and see what kind of deals they have. If anything, it gives us something to do while we're on there.
Yep, while we're waiting for another stop to go do something else.
Go learn how to draw Beast again.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do, so we ended up going to a drawing class on how to draw Beauty and the Beast. Just trying to find something to do.
It's about the ports for us when it comes to cruises, not the actual cruise.
Not the actual cruise. Though the last time we did find the sauna, and so that was kind of cool.
That changed everything, yeah. I would totally spend most of my time there while we're on the ship, for sure.
Yep. It's crazy. When I first got out of the Army and graduated, From advertising school, I started working at a publishing house that did real estate magazines. And, that was the whole premise of the entire magazine, was that it was an under the radar. It was it had all of these listings for the individual realtors, because we did individual magazines for individual real estate offices. And so they were all the same magazine, but then there was like 44, I think at one time across the whole United States. So it wasn't like you were getting, the same magazine from the same person in the same area. But it was like a beautiful, glossy home magazine. We get these ones now in the mail, and all there'll be some listings and a whole bunch of ads.
It's all ads.
We didn't do it that way. Like, we actually had home articles, and we would do event calendars for their area, because the magazines came out every month. We had recipes and things like that gave people a reason to keep a hold of it, rather than just a bunch of coupons that were going to go in the trash. Like, if you're going to spend the money to get it beautifully designed and to get it printed and then mailed to people, like, make it look nice and something that people would keep.
We still do this, by the way. You can email Torie at toriemathis.com.
I do, like, still to this day, doing magazines. It's a really great way it's a low commitment, it's entertaining, it's a way to get in front of people and sell to them without them knowing they're being sold to, or without them, like, objecting to it. Like, there's so many other things going on that it's hard to get people's attention. There used to be all those infomercials late at night that would sell, like, whatever those different products. They had juicers, and I don't know if they still have those. We haven't had regular TV in a really long time. They probably do still have them, though. They come on late at night. You can't
I don't know.
sleep.
Now you get the home shopping network and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but those aren't infomercials. Infomercials are different, because it's like it's a story, and it takes you through all this stuff, and it has a demo, and it doesn't really feel like a commercial. Like the home shopping network, I think it's just like, buy this.
I think there's other networks, though, that have that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those kind of... I like to buy, just don't be like, buy my stuff. That's not cool.
No, it's like when you get the piece of mail, right, that comes with just nothing but coupons in it. Or the magazine, and it's all ads. Like, it's trash immediately. It doesn't even make it in the house half the time. It goes straight in the garbage can.
It bums me out, because I know how much that stuff costs to print and to deliver, and like the work it takes to get all that stuff put together. That it's kind of a bummer.
Well, and every once in a while, I see a magazine that looks more real magazine-ish, and you're like, oh, well, what is this? At least it makes it into the house. And if there's...
Then you open it up, it's like, coupons!
Yeah, but if there was some of the good articles or something in there that you wanted to read, then it turns into that, coffee table worthy, right?
You know who had a good one? When we lived at the lake house, the energy company in that area put out a beautiful magazine every 2 months. I read that thing back to front, because it was talking about, what they were doing for the community. So they were really putting their name out. It wasn't like they weren't trying to hide the fact that they made the magazine, but they put a little bit of time in it. It was a really nice magazine. It's kind of cool. And all these, whatever anybody's business is, you can do these types of things. Some of these, like the events and stuff like that, that might be not the best thing to start with. Like, I think any business really could do an event, and we've had another video that we talked about that. But even what people call lead magnets, where you get people to download a guide or a coupon or things like that, you offer them something for free in exchange for an email. It is kind of the same thing if you do it the right way.
It's totally, because you have their email address. You can slowly educate them about your business, no matter what the business is. Because if you think educating them through social posts on Facebook is going to get in front of them, it's not. So what do we have? 6, 7, 8 emails, something like that, automatically set up that if you sign up for miles through time, emails will automatically go out over the course of a few weeks that will tell you all about the museum. So if you found it, however you found it, and maybe you haven't been yet, or you're didn't have time to go through the whole website, whatever the case may be. As long as you put your email in there, you're going to slowly learn about what Miles Through Time is. And so if you're, even if you're that dog groomer, and one of the emails is telling you why you started that business, and talking about your dog, and then here's a coupon and why you should shampoo your dog every couple weeks or months. I don't know, but you educate them about how your business is then beneficial for them, and it's free. Let people unsubscribe if they want to unsubscribe. If they don't open your email, they don't open your email, but people are going to open it, and you're probably going to get some sales from that.
Well, and that's all the Park West thing did. They just took clients that had already bought for them, and they do it by region. So we just happened to be in the South, and so there was one close to us, and so we were just added to that email list that they put out. Like anybody that's bought a certain amount from them and lived in, within, 200 miles of wherever they were having the event, they just emailed, "Hey, you interested? We're going to do this." And if you were, you told them yes, and then they got you on the phone and got you all set up. But all it was emailing us and inviting us. So I think any business can reach out to their customer list in a way that, invite them to come back, because people who already bought from you are much more willing to buy from you. Right?
Right. And I think it's like you don't email them every day and say, buy this, buy this, buy this. Like you'd be missing the entire point.
Unless you're the Halloween shop. Holy shit.
they send a lot of
they did like 2 a day. I was there. I wanted a coupon. Freebie, right? So I put in my email address, didn't get the email back with a coupon before we left the place. So I ended up buying everything full price for the kids. Then, oh my goodness, they buy my stuff, which I understand. It's like seasonal. So, but yeah, wow. I think that people think
2
that
a day?
Yes, 2 a day. I think if people, because they do get those crazy, like Old Navy, like there's some of these brands that I think it's like they just want you to either act or unsubscribe, but then, you might miss out on something. So you keep the subscription. I don't know. But just because these other brands are doing this, and just because these are what you're seeing, like these giant brands doing, like that doesn't mean that's what your business should do. You don't email them every day or twice a day, buy my stuff.
Now, I think there's a balance there of making your customers or potential customers interested. They make them a little curious as to what's going on, and I think it can apply to any business, really. Think about a hair salon. If you got an email every couple weeks that was like, check out these, awesome hairstyles that we did throughout the course of a couple weeks. Something else that they did, maybe they had some sort of event. Somebody famous came in and got their hair done, and then another one is, here's your, you want to schedule your appointment, or.
Well, they all sell hair products and stuff, so it's easy to be like, oh, let's see a demo of this new.
Yeah, any kind of recommendations, anything like that. Yeah, there's no shortage of things you can do.
So you're saying, not to email people so often. I think a big problem is not emailing enough as well. Like when we did the real estate magazine, some people were like, I just want to do it once. I just want to do it twice a year. And you're like, waste of time. Like, don't even do it. There's going to be so much, for this effort put into it that people aren't going to remember you. Like you're starting over every single time you do it. So, we really tried to get people to do it once a month. Every other month was good. And then people that wanted to do it quarterly, like even that, like you have to do things with some consistency. And I think for the Miles Through Time thing, I think that's awesome. How often you email your list, not too much, not too little, but when you have something great. Park West, I do still get their emails. They're still very educational. They share a lot of stuff. It isn't just buy my stuff. And they have actually, I feel for them for, cruise lines being their main source of, revenue of new clients that's their advertising, like that's their lead generation. They have been trying to do some online auctions. I don't know how well that's really gone for them, but they are still pumping out the emails and the information and doing videos on their artists and stuff like that, because I think they sign with their artists, so they're able to like produce stuff for them. But they're still sending stuff to us.
Yeah, there's got to be something going on with your business that Let your customers know. How great are you? Let them know. Otherwise, they won't.
They won't know if you don't tell them. That is for sure. So if you like this episode, great. Why don't you like this video and subscribe to our channel? We would definitely appreciate that. And if you want some free resources on how to build your business and do some of these things that we're talking about, sending emails and how to do that, and maybe how to do events, go to our website. Go to toriemathis.com, and we've got lots of free resources for you that you can check out. And we'll see you on the next one. If you want to get smart tools to build your business, go to besmartaf.com.